This is 5 on Your Side at 6. Focused on you.
He'd make you smile when you were crying, you know, me and him, we were best friends.
Tonight, a father remembers his teenage son who was killed in a triple shooting in Oakville. That shooting also left his friend dead and another person injured. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The shooting happened Monday afternoon at the Black Forest apartment complex. In the last hour, we learned 2 suspects have been charged in the case. Tyler Coleman and Zachary Hoff are each charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and marijuana delivery. According to court documents, the suspects and the victims were doing a drug deal involving marijuana cartridges. 5 on Your Side's Annie Krall is live in the neighborhood with the latest from police and the victim's family. Annie?
Well, exactly. Police have now identified one of the boys who died as 15-year-old Colin Courtwright. He passed away on the scene just behind me. In fact, there's actually a large group gathering at that Black Forest Apartments parking lot where it all happened. Colin's father, Sam Starnes, tells us he's just trying to figure out how to even move forward.
It'll get easier as time goes, but you will never forget that.
If you drove around the Black Forest apartment complex in Oakville on Tuesday afternoon, there's no broken glass on the ground, bullet holes in buildings, or any indication of what this same parking lot looked like just the day before. The place where 15-year-old Colin Courtwright was shot and killed. His father, Sam Starnes, telling us Colin was his best friend, describing the moment police told him his son was killed in this parking lot.
Kind of almost fell to the ground, kept my balance. I couldn't really walk. I couldn't breathe. My mouth got dry. You know, it was something that a parent should never have to go through.
Starnes telling me Colin's friend, a teenager who police have not yet identified, was the other victim who was killed, and that the third person who was shot is recovering in a nearby hospital.
This kid evidently who shot him didn't have no remorse on nobody's life.
Colin's father tells us that his teenage son autopsy was conducted this morning. If you have any information about the shooting, you are asked to call St. Louis County Police or Crime Stoppers at that number on your screen, which is 866-371-TIPS. Reporting live in Oakville, Annie Krall, 5 on Your Side.
And right now, 2 people are in the hospital after a shooting in East St. Louis. It happened a little after 1 this afternoon near Pop's Liquor Store on Bond Avenue. When officers arrived, they found a man and a woman shot in a car. Police say they were hit in a drive-by shooting. Both have life-threatening injuries. Also in that car, the woman's 5-month-old son. Police say the baby was taken to the hospital with injuries, but they don't think he was hurt in the gunfire. Police haven't said if they have any suspects or if they've made any arrests.
Tonight, police are looking for the person who shot a teenager in University City. Police were called to Pennsylvania and Vernon near Heman Park Community Center a little after 1 in the morning. That's where they found the 17-year-old boy shot. He was taken to the hospital. He is expected to pull through. If you have any information about the shooting, please call the University City Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS.
The city of New Haven, Missouri has dissolved its police department after the chief suddenly resigned. New Haven is in Franklin County, about an hour from downtown St. Louis. Our Justina Cornell went to Franklin County today, and she joins us now in studio to explain what happens now. Justina.
Well, Mike, Chief John Hallquist has worked in law enforcement for more than 30 years. He was just sworn in last month, but resigned weeks later, saying in a letter he said, quote, he has a duty to intervene and notify proper authorities.
A new year meant a new police chief for the city of New Haven. On January 8th, Police Chief John Hallquist was sworn in, but he resigned on January 31st.
It was a shock. We were not prepared for that.
City Administrator Kathleen Trentman was taken aback.
His resignation letter basically brought up some concerns regarding the evidence, proper handling of the evidence room.
In the resignation letter, Hallquist said he stepped down because of circumstances surrounding the department and the information discovered, which he didn't know about prior to his appointment. He added, quote, because of what I know now, I have no further desire to be associated with the New Haven Police Department in any capacity, end quote.
We're going to sit down with Chief Hallquist and try to figure out what led him to that point, and then just, hopefully just pick up from there.
48 hours later, the Board of Aldermen held a special meeting.
At that meeting, the board voted to disband the police department effective immediately.
The Franklin County Sheriff's Office then stepped in, signing a 6-month contract with the city.
About 2,400 people, and so the call volume, isn't insane, but it does add a little bit because we're full up with whatever the zone car is handling.
Beyond patrolling the area, the Sheriff's Office is also conducting an audit and inventory of evidence.
The number of items in the evidence room, I don't know, and so we'll just have to get in there, and then the truth takes us where it takes us.
As a New Haven native, Trentman looks forward to a new day.
We will get through this and we will be back to New Haven.
Now, the audit hasn't begun just yet. I'm told they anticipate starting it in the next few days. Now, there will be a city board meeting on February 12th to discuss what's next. I'm told they expect a big crowd.
St. Louis aldermen could soon tap into $17 million in old ward capital funds to pay for upgrades in city neighborhoods. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live downtown with more on what this money could mean for city streets in need of repair. Mark?
Most of the money that moves through City Hall goes through the mayor's office, the Board of Aldermen president, and the comptroller. That's where the bulk of major projects moves through. But each alderman also gets a pot of money called ward capital. And that leftover money from the old 28 wards is now being divided up into each of those larger new 14 wards. A lot of aldermen opt to spend this ward capital money on emergency road repairs, fixing sidewalks, or making upgrades to enhance the safety of neighborhoods in need. But concerns about the history of these funds and how they've been managed over the years prompted a new committee hearing this morning. That's where we heard frustrations mounting over a rather cumbersome process in trying to move that money out the door and pour the concrete in each ward. Get this, we learned that sometimes those projects on a politician's wish list might die in an email thread.
It could be weeks, it could be a month, it might be a 2-month period.
It doesn't take months, it's taking years.
3, 4, 5 years for their replacements.
Many times what happens is someone sends an email and they say, I would like to do a project, and we give them information, but we never get a full sign off.
Did I hear you right that some of these projects might have died in an email thread?
That's correct.
Just think about that. If a project takes 5 years, that means an alderman could be elected, assign a project, and then never have it funded before they lost the next election. 2 separate bills right now winding their way through City Hall could free up these old leftover funds and put them in the hands of each alderman. We could see movement on that as early as this Friday, just in time for the spring construction season. Live downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Coming up, $30 million going to the Dome and $280 million going to the rest of the city. The changes you wanted to see made with the Rams settlement money.
Plus, surviving a horrific car crash. How this high school quarterback is tackling his broken back.
And a beautiful sunrise around St. Louis and a beautiful sunset this evening, but the clouds get a little thicker as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. More on our chances for rain later this week in just about 10 minutes.